Well, hello, this is Rochelle and welcome to my channel. So today I am working with a printable by his palette called Prickly Times, and I'm working in my Archer and Olive craft dot journal. Like I said before a million times, I'm having serious FOMO for this journal to run out. So it's like every time I work in it, I need to carefully consider how much space I have left. But that's on another level. This printable really meant so much to me, and it's a full devotional kind of kit with verses and just really beautiful imagery. And I'm using something that I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with. I don't like distress oxides or distress inks. For me, they bleed through pretty much everything I use, and I don't know, I just have never really liked them. But this really just made such a beautiful page, and so yes, it had some redemptive qualities. Even Grace agrees, if you can hear her in the background. So with distress oxides, when you wet them, they oxidize. So it plays beautifully into like various colors and has this metallic kind of oxidization effect to it when you heat set it. And obviously with the water. So for me, this whole love-hate relationship that I had worked in perfectly with the prickly times, praying through these prickly times. It was such a word in season when there is difficulty that you face and it seems to be a desert and you just absolutely can see hardly any way through. This really spoke to me in a time like that because I think, especially when you're going through those times or when you're in that desert, it feels like getting out from there. An almost impossible feat. But God says He makes a way, a river in the wasteland. Yes, Grace, I hear you. It's troublesome. He makes a river in the wasteland. He makes a way through for us. And even though that way may not always be our way and we can't necessarily always see the end result of it, God's promises ring true, and in just a short while you'll be looking back at these prickly times and you'll be seeing the results and the fruit of it and the reason for it. There is a reason for it. I believe it with all my heart. I didn't have sticker paper or something like that to print this on, so I'm trying to redo this kind of font lettering. I'm using a Uniball Signo broad. This is the broad Uniball Signo. So unfortunately, most places in South Africa, we can only find the standard kind of Uniball Signo, and it's not as potent at all. But this broad Uniball Signo from the United States, I brought a few in with my journals, which again, FOMO, I'm so scared of them running out. But yes, I'm having that. So this specific gel pen has a very opaque, obviously broad nib, so you can see it over even the distress oxides, etc. So I'm just kind of writing the words with the white Uniball Signo and then going over it or around it with my extra super fine black Pitt artist pen. Yes, so there's that. So then it gives this illusion like it is exactly that same, like maybe I fussy cut out those alphas. I definitely didn't. No way. And then the other way, or the other thing that I did, which oftentimes people battle with, I know that I am not a perfect typographer. So sometimes people battle with getting that continuous flow maybe over 2 pages, and you don't know if you should put it all on the left and then run over to the right when you're done on the left. But I find that if you kind of break up your word in the middle, not just your sentence, but your word in the middle, the eye reads easier over that middle center fold. I do that with my printables as well. I cut a little bit off and have it hang over on the other side. I do a kind of a kiss cut, so I do let a little bit of space between the center fold and the printable cut line, just so that, yes, that's a lot of info, just so that it pages easier, but still the eye flows continuously over the 2 pages, and the 2 pages kind of become one solid layout or piece. I did have a lot of relaxing time with this specific layout. It helped me to just spend a little bit of time with God and praying through my own prickly time. And I love that this printable adds the words, "His love never runs dry." So I really did find that sweet time with the Lord in spending time making this layout or working through this layout, which again has been made very easy because the verses are there, the images are there, everything is there for you to kind of play creatively, interact creatively with the word, and then obviously meditating on these scripture verses where God says He's making a way for us. So hang tight, pray through, push on, don't give up, just stick it through, my girl, you'll get there. With these verses, I obviously didn't want them to be this kind of weird stark white hanging in the middle there somewhere. So again, I'm gonna just take this distress oxide and kind of edge the sides with a sponge dauber. This is kind of a thumb sponge dauber or a finger sponge dauber. You can put it on top of your finger. It has a little pipeish feel to it, so your finger fits in, and then it has a sponge on the top, and then you can put the ink on there and then just outline or chalk the edges there with your sponge dauber. And then I'm doing that same thing. I'm cutting the word and having it kind of run over the 2 pages, just with a slight gap in between, so that you can easily read and that your eye just kind of flows over the 2 pages and it becomes a joint page. Grace has been making every effort to make this video recording difficult with the noises that she has been making. Nonetheless, I'm using some Winsor & Newton ink, white ink, I want to do some splatters. My ink I haven't used in a very long time, so I am just adding a bit of water to it. Don't chuck your inks if it's dry, just add water. Most of these are water soluble, so they do reactivate with ink, with water, unless you've left it forever in a day. So obviously very chunky white splatters. I am covering my main title just to not splatter there. And splatters fixes everything. I had someone tell me that splatters are like Prozac for your pages. So have all the Prozac you want, my dear page. All done and dusted. Thank you so much for joining me. I really did enjoy doing this layout, and I hope to see you again really soon. Bye-bye.